Our station right now is called Cauldron Bubbles. This is all about bubbles, bubble solutions, fun things that you can do with bubbles. The first thing you're going to do as a station leader is get your highlighter taken apart so that you can make a glowing bubble. This is what your black lights are for. So you have a highlighter. We'll try to get them all to be yellow. Go ahead and pop that open. They usually pop open at the bottom or at the top depending on the brand. And then go ahead and slide that into a cup of water and let that sit. And it's better to do that right away in the morning when you come or the night before, just so that it has time to leach out all of the water. There is a little plastic that is on the highlighter. As it expands, that plastic will pop right off and you can take it out of there and let your water sit for a little bit. Alright, so when the scouts arrive, you're going to have some trays that'll have some bubble solution in them, and they're going to make a bubble wand. So scouts can have a couple of pipe cleaners each, and they can make different shapes, varieties with them. Some will make a nice large one, some might make a little bit smaller one. The big thing is that they have some sort of a handle on the bottom of it so that they can dip it into their solution. They can also you can try to get them to make squares with their pipe cleaners. Rectangles. And talk to them a little bit, no matter what shape they have, the bubbles all end up being round. And you can talk to them a little bit about why that would happen. Why doesn't it make a square shape? Why does it make a round shape? It has to do with how the bubble molecules stick together. So they can do all kinds of different shapes with them. There's no right or wrong to this. It is completely up to them. They can make their sticks look any way that they want. They can have some three-dimensional shape to them. One of the fun things that you can do is if you had, as a station leader, if you had some connects pieces or zone tool pieces, you could bring those to the station and let scouts explore with that as well. Again, not provided by the council, but certainly as a station leader you can enhance the activity a little bit. So there I made sort of an odd shaped one. You'll have aluminum trays for your bubble solution that'll be sent with, and dip it in. And see if you make a 3D shape, it makes it a little different bubble. You can see that within there. And then they can practice blowing it. Sometimes they'll break. You get it dipped in again. Make a nice big bubble solution. Let them go ahead and practice. Once they have their shapes determined, they can go ahead and practice. They can reshape it by taking it apart and reshaping it if they want. The pipe cleaners do tend to get a little soggy with soap. Just run your fingers across it before they leave the station so that they can take those home with them and practice with it at home. Paper towels will be in your station kit for scouts to be able to clean up afterwards as well. And then we'll also have some commercial bubble wands available as well for those that just want to blow bubbles afterwards. You'll find that scouts love to run and chase. You'll end up with a couple of people that like to blow bubbles and a couple of people that like to run around and pop the bubbles. That's fine. You can have a contest, see how many bubbles they can catch on their hands, on top of each other. Lots of fun things to do with that. So that's the first part, making out your bubble wand and talking about how bubble solutions work, why it always makes a circle, seeing what creations they can come up with. The second part of your station is to make a super bubble. Super bubble solutions are fun because the bubbles tend to stay together a little bit better. You can catch more of them on your hands so you can continue that activity. Here is one that's already been pre-made a little bit. Again, we've been soaking our highlighter in here. You can see it'll get on your hands if you're not careful. But that glowing part, I'm going to squeeze some out here so you can kind of see what it will look like. Here's our water that we're going to use. You can see it's glowing, yellow-green color. That glow will show up on a black light. It'll show up as a glowing bubble. So you can let them run around with their black lights after you have the solution made. They have their bubble wands made, and they can see the difference between a regular bubble and a glowing bubble. Altogether, you're going to need 3 cups of water for this. There's 1 cup in there already. There's a 2nd cup. Put that in. Then you're going to add a 1/2 cup of white corn syrup. Again, this will be in your station supply. I'm going to add a little bit of corn syrup in there. And you'll have some measuring cups, or these little 4-ounce cups. Make it very easy to measure out. And as a station leader, you can't be afraid to get messy because this is going to be a messy day. And then you're going to add a cup of your dishwashing detergent. You want to be careful not to get too much bubble mix in, too many bubbles in your bubble mix. You can go ahead and swirl that around. I'm just going to use one of my bubble wands for right now, but I'm not going to stir it vigorously because I don't want it to get all bubbly on me. Now yours will be more of that bright yellow or that bright green color. I had an orange highlighter in here before, so adding the orange and the yellow made it a little darker than it would otherwise be. So you're going to mix this in your container or in your aluminum tray. Again, you can have them dip in their bubble wand or a commercial bubble wand. And in general, these bubbles will be slightly stronger. They'll have a tendency to land on the grass as full bubbles. It's harder to do it on your hand. And they'll be able to look at that then with a black light and it'll glow. And that's a super bubble solution. The other fun part of this station will be the put a scout in a bubble. Again, with either your bubble solution or a mixture of your bubble solution and your super bubble mix, you can have a small blow-up pool that will be included in your kit, and a small hula hoop, and a small stool. And with that small stool, you're going to put that in the middle of your pool, put the hula hoop around that, have your scouts stand on that stool and lift that hula hoop up above them, and they will get to see an inside view of the bubble. You don't want to go all the way around the scout, obviously. You don't want to enclose the bubble, but to be able just to lift it up, and it'll make a sheet around them, and they'll be able to see what the inside of a bubble looks like.